Hello, 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 and welcome to this YouTube channel. My name is Jameelah, and I am a master manifester. And I'm sure you are too because you're watching content like this. The name of this channel is Manifesting Magic the Practical Way because there are a lot of practicalities to manifesting the life that we choose. What I'm discussing today is the glass ceiling that your top 5 connections create. So let's first talk about a glass ceiling. A glass ceiling is sort of like when you are working in a workplace and there's like, you can see the top, you can see the people at the top, you can see the positions because you're looking through glass, I'm sorry. But when you try to reach those positions, you hit a ceiling. It's an invisible ceiling, but yet the social constructs make it possible, right? So if like you're not a good fit for a position, a lot of times you may hit a glass ceiling. Or if they're really just looking for something else in their leadership, you may hit a glass ceiling. All those things are possible. So when you discuss that as it relates to your top 5, that's sort of like Jim Rohn's quote when he says you are the combination or accumulation of your top 5 friends. So when you say friends, it doesn't have to be friends. It's just the top 5 people that you connect with and create with and bounce ideas off of on a regular basis. Like, who are those people, right? Think about that really deeply. And then from there, think about their lives, right? Think about the camaraderie that happens when you are connected to other people. So you have this belief or this mindset that you're going to accomplish this really great thing. Say you want to, do this really big business that you've been working on, and it's going to be consulting people and contracting. And it's bigger than you can see it right now in your head, but you know that it has potential and you want to share these ideas with other people. Well, if you're around people who have not outgrown the level at which you are, but they don't really see a need to outgrow it completely, you're not going to get good feedback from those types of people, right? And what also happens too in a lot of those environments, people will tell you that they support you and that you're so great and all this is amazing, blah, 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 that's going on. And the minute you start making headway or the minute you start being successful in that thing, that's when you'll see a fall off every now, sometimes. But the top 5 people around you, they pretty much give you your ideas, and they receive your ideas and they give you ideas, right? So think about all of the synergy and the energy that passes from one person to another when it just comes to how you feel. You ever felt really happy one day and then you walk into your house and everybody's upset about something, in your mood and your energy completely shifts like that, right? So that is the same effect that your top 5 friends are having on you. A lot of people think they can have friends that are at a much lower level of the spiritual awakening journey and still develop themselves to the level that they want to be. While this is possible, very possible, one of the biggest drawbacks to it is that the person who's doing all this work rarely has a mentor bringing them to the next level, right? So it's like they wind up being the smartest person in their circle. They don't want to be, they may want to be, but what it does is it creates a glass ceiling because you're not able to get ideas and energy and feedback that would push you to the next level, because the people that you're with, they're not at that level. And many of them may not even be trying to go to another level when it comes to their spiritual development, their personal development, right? So keep that in mind. Sometimes we're trying to manifest things and we're wondering, why is this taking so long? Why am I having such a hard time with this? I'll tell you, this definitely applies to money energy, financial energy, right? This is what I found. When I surround myself with people who are better with their finances, who are good at savings accounts, and they have retirement funds, and they do all these things that'll help them not be working until they're 80 years old, right? If they're still alive. And they can live great on a regular basis. Whenever I'm surrounded by people like that, or like I have been in the past few years of my life, I can see a clear connection between the development that I'm having in my own life and the expansion there. It's not necessarily always the influence of the person. A lot of times it's just an energetic flow. It's like the energy of abundance is moving around in that area. And when you are around these people and you're around this environment, you are in that energy of abundance unless you bring the frequency down with a scarcity mindset. So think about that. Think about who are your top 5 people. What are they doing in their lives? How influential they are to you? And realize that even if you're stronger, even if you're smarter, and even if you have more to offer and you feel like, hey, I'm not going to be so, I'm not going to be so badgered. Well, that's not the word, not badgered. I'm not going to be so beat down by this person's energy that I'm going to let it get the best of me. I can still be around them and then still live in my abundant mindset. That's very hard. You're like swimming against a current. To swim with the current is to have the top 5 people that are around you be going in the direction that you're going or either already there, right? So swimming against the current just means that you're trying to keep all the same connections and friends and people and places that were in a previous energetic flow of your life, a previous mindset of your life, and you're attempting to walk into this new level with all of this negative energy towards growth and prosperity and abundance, right? Because it's not that people have an outward negative attitude towards abundance and all those sort of things. It's just that over time, I don't think that people understand that they do have a scarcity mindset, like being overly precautious about things, acting like everybody's trying to get something from you, or always going on about, creating these fail stops so that you don't lose something or whatever, right? That's a scarcity mindset, right? I was talking to a friend yesterday and she was going on about her husband and how he overchecks locking up things and always thinks somebody's trying to steal something from him, and how she was completely different. She said, like, a long time ago, they were getting groceries out the car and the car was parked on the driveway. Every time they came inside, he locked the door to the car. And she was like, if people are going to go up to our car and open the door and steal our groceries, she was like, they can have them. And I feel the same way too, right? Because to me, that is a mindset of abundance, is leaving yourself open to freedom and possibilities and a positive attitude. But at the same time, you're not worrying about what you're going to lose all the time. And a lot of us have people like that in our top 5s. We have scarcity mindset people. We have financially unabundant people. They may be working on it, but they may not be there yet. We have people that are not established or understand what they want to do career-wise. And if you look around, when I was at a time in my life when I was floating around, kind of being way more bohemian, which I enjoyed heavily because I was with my daughters all the time. They were under 10. It was kind of the best times of my life. So far, it was just a fun time because I had realized that, the duty of taking care of those girls was on me. They were fun people. I wanted to hang with them every day. I enjoyed their company every day. It was a very positive experience. But during that time, I was hanging out with a lot of different mothers and a lot of other types of people who were very good people. But if I look back at my financial situation and how I was handling my life, how I was handling business in it, I had let a lot of things go because it was too much to keep in order while I was trying to raise my daughters. When they were that little, there was too much ripping and running and schedules and timing and too much of this and not enough of that happening. And so during this time, I would be around people and all of our situations were identical, halfway supportive, counterpart, the previous spouses or, ex-husbands or boyfriends or whatever they had, not truly supportive with raising the children, not much financial support, no long-term perseverance in a career or stick-to-itiveness with a specific idea and pushing it to make it go. We were all kind of just floating. And nobody really cared if somebody had money. Nobody cared if they didn't. But after a while, when you sit around with people like that and that lifestyle becomes normal, you realize that you're not getting anything done, that everybody's in the same spot. And it can almost sometimes become a system where it turns into crabs in a barrel because the people around you are not reaching for anything. So they feel insecure and uncomfortable that you are, and it impacts the environment. So my homework for you, because I know a lot of people don't always do this. Think about your top 5 people. Think about the people that you spend the majority of your time with, the people that are on your mind the most. Think about their attitudes, their ideas, the way that they see the world and how they manage themselves in this life. And let me know whether you think that they are the type of top 5 that will release you from the burden of the invisible ceiling, right? Because you really don't want that on your life. You know, there's so far and so high we can go. And when we get caught up with people sometimes and they start having all these doubts about what's available and what's possible and what you can do, it's not always a clear, it's not always clear verbiage that they feel this way, but you'll see it in actions, right? Every decision, every idea, every movement is all based on how much money they have and how much they think they can afford, and how much all these little things and these tedious things that are not related to the bigness, the amazingness, the miraculousness that we have inside of us. Because I know I have it. I know what I come from, which was pretty good. And I know how far I've come, which is pretty great. And I know, guess what? I didn't do all that stuff myself. I know that there were doors open for me by my energetic application. You know, you put in a job application, you put in a physical one, but you also put in an energetic application. So just keep that in mind, that that energy flows between you and those groups of people. And you want to make sure it's the most positive, prosperous, and abundant energy that there is in your circle, because then you'll always know that you're pushing and moving to the next level. Beautiful, beautiful thing. Anyway, the invisible ceiling your top 5 creates. Think about that. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Keep on manifesting magic, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.